I'm just happy to be around.
Yeah, welcome. It's nice meeting you, and again, you're one of us. As long as you love Melee, that's all that's important. Uh,
Yes.
Brief introduction, I guess, for me is my name's Wasabi. I'm currently in NorCal, but I kind of grew up Melee wise in New York City, and kind of
Mm.
was trying to
Oh,
get better there and everything, and
but
now just conquering doubles.
you probably had access to like um a lot of local tournaments and so on, right?
Yeah, I was definitely spoiled with practice partners and Nebs and later Hax's nightclub. So that was really amazing and able to practice with players like Hax and Rishi and Smuckers and Ryobeat. So that's you know
I
definitely
mean,
helped me level up in the game as well. And I'm trying right now to just like learn switch to the box and get top
oh,
100 whenever that resumes. But I'm enjoying online. I wasn't a big commentator. Normally I do money matches at locals and stuff like that. But it's been fun now because I can just like wake up. It's only 11 a.m. for me right now in
mm.
California, and I can commentate the game and geek out about it without having to worry if I'm getting enough practice at locals.
Oh yeah, okay. I can see that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are heading into, or is this already a game? What's going on right now? It part of it felt a little handwarmery for a second, but no, I think they are
Yeah.
actually playing.
This is an actual game.
Yeah,
I'm
there we go.
going to. Yeah. Yeah. This is an actual game. Well, no, Renzo, Amsah, Nuckels, and Jim Morrison. So this is the no, this is the same game. So the game didn't end actually when we were watching it. I thought the set was over, but
Oh
it seems like
well,
we're going back,
well,
and now
no,
we got Fox.
this is.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
I
it, got it.
think this is actually a new set,
Actually,
right?
new set. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although look at that, it's just the Netherlands left and right, quite literally.
I know it's like they're a mirror image of each other, which is really incredible. And
Well,
it's
oh, go ahead.
yeah. No,
No,
you continue while
but
I'm.
like nearly a mirror image, right? Oh wait, actually no, never mind. They are actually both playing Fox Morph. I was just looking at a little icons there, and the icons are a little off target. But
Yeah.
you know what? Hey, look, Fox Morph is always exciting, right? I feel like I always say, like all you need for melee is you need Fox, Falco, Morph, and then a stage. And that's it. We can cut out everything else.
Yeah, of course, of course. Who do you play so I can get familiar?
Oh, I play so I it's always a little bit difficult to quantify with me a bit because I can't have bad hands. I just have
Mhm.
bad joints in general, and I'm old, so my hands hurt, my knees hurt, everything hurts. And what that basically means is I like playing the spacies, I like playing Falco a lot, but every once in a while I'm kind of taking a forced break from them, and I play a character that requires a few less buttons for a few months. Um, so I tend to like I tend to main Falco, but pretty frequently I'm like, you know what? Like now we've got some Mothmons, so now we got some Jigsmons because they are, you know, they're characters I can play without needing to worry so much. Um,
Yeah, and we see the red team take it quickly, and this gives me a perfect time to try to load the game. I'm having some technical difficulties on my end, just getting the game up, but I'm a Fox player myself, and so
Fox is
Yeah, Fox is super fun.
yeah, Fox is the good stuff, right? That's melee. Anyway, so we're gonna be heading into this game. Um, we've got Amsah and Nuckles playing the red team. There we go. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's a little bit difficult, right? But we've got Amsah playing the fox, the red fox, and then Knuckles playing the red Marth, with Jim Morrison on the blue fox and Renzo on the blue Marth.
Yes.
So there we go. All right, it's gonna be a little bit tricky to keep track of it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll probably refer to them as their characters instead.
Yeah. I've just been referring them to as like the blue team and the red team for speed's sake, because doubles just operates so quickly. Oh,
Oh
great
yeah,
kill! That was amazing.
there's so much going on in doubles.
Yeah, I really love it. I think there's so much more nuance in how stage position is taken, especially.
Mm.
It's interesting. This is the first mirror match that I've seen on this commentary block for a doubles team composition. So I'm really curious on how they differ. I think I saw Knuckles kind of be a little bit more aggressive compared to the Blue Marth, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's really interesting because uh the because Knuckles takes space. Sometimes he operates as the carry, and the Fox operates as the support, which is a little bit unique, especially
Yeah,
for
that's a
this
bit
composition.
unusual for doubles, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
if you see a Fox, they tend to be the one that goes in and is super aggressive. And Marv definitely prefers having the one-on-one scenarios.
Yeah, yeah. I think, it's really interesting because they're both kind of going for the same thing, right? They have devastating team combos off of grab, but both having Marth on your side allows you to isolate a character and then
Yeah.
create 2v1 situations, which works perfectly with Fox, who can kind of just run in and cause chaos.
No.
And yeah,
Uh,
as we see here, Marth's kind of taking the carry to, the aggressive thing versus the Fox, which is, I think, really, it's throwing the blue team off a little bit, I feel like.
Yeah, the blue team is struggling a bit. They do need to close out some of these stocks. If they can just get the Fox really quick, then it should be relatively even, relatively manageable. So there we go. Now both teams at only one stock remaining. Oh, the tech
Oh,
though!
wow, that was amazing. No!
No!
What
Gets the
happened?
tech and then just
Oh no.
the misinput. Very unfortunate.
Hey,
Now,
Fox is hard.
Fox is hard. Yeah, you have to push a million buttons. You're gonna push a wrong one. It
Yeah.
happens. So hey, look, that was still a fairly close game. Right, if you can get the opposing team down to only two stocks, I think you did a pretty good job. And it also shows that you can definitely pull it off if you just make some smaller adjustments, like not side being off the stage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder if they're able to just shake it off and then go into it. What are your thoughts on this sort of team composition for Foxmark? What are you liking? What do you like so far? That you're seeing?
Oh, I think like it's actually really interesting the way I think the way you describe it is actually pretty accurate. What tends to happen in this matchup, I feel, is that it's oftentimes the foxes chasing down the mobs, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
what we have encountered quite frequently here is that actually it's just like Fox versus Fox and Moth versus Fox because of this kind of like a bit of a discrepancy in terms of roles, like a bit of an unusual setup there.
Yeah.
And that is definitely very interesting. But look, this is just a good team. You have the best character in the game and the second best character in the game. I mean, how much better does it get? And I'm not gonna go out and get into the argument about who is who right now.
Yeah, of course. I
We're
mean,
not doing
well,
that right now.
Amsah and Knuckles are up 2-0 right now as the blue team, and this is to qualify into loser side of top 8, which is really
Oh, nice.
crazy. I've been most impressed with Amsah's Fox. He tried to go Sheik a little bit earlier against Fatty Angel and R23. It didn't, unfortunately, didn't pan out. It was a sound strategy for sure, but I've been most impressed with Amsah's Fox in doubles.
Yeah, I mean, Amsah is such an old school player. Like at this point, Amsah has played more of any given character than most people, right?
Yeah,
It
that
just
is
comes,
true.
just comes with the experience.
Yeah, and I think to bounce off of that, right? His longevity and maturity as a player, being one of the bastions of European melee for so long, and still is just his discipline to keep the position,
Mm,
and not
yeah,
move away from Knuckles too much, which allows them to break up combos from the red team or from the blue team.
yeah, and you can see that they're again they're in the lead. Well, no, now they are in the lead. Now they're
Now
definitely in
now
the
they
lead.
are, yeah.
Yeah, right. Like before, it was a little debatable, but now they're definitely doing pretty well here. Now, nothing that can't be recovered from by any means. All right, blue team just needs to get a few good hits. There's the first one. Oh, almost jumps in the up
Oh
smash. That
yeah.
could end in disaster. Not quite though.
Oh, it's interesting. We got Marth versus Marth now versus Fox. They're opting to go 1v1 against each other.
This been
Well,
happening a lot though, right? Like this is I think something that both teams actually prefer in a way. Oh, this is bad.
oh
What's that? The
no.
Firefox.
Miss input.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. They do still have that 2-on-1 advantage, and as Marv, that's just rough, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. I think the tough thing, oh my goodness, is really that you can't put out anything laggy.
Mm.
And what is more laggy than an up B
Yeah,
top platform?
bit of an unusual choice. But you know what? Sometimes you just need to get your opponent off of yourself. Well, really
Yeah.
nicely done right there. I mean, we do see just a quick cleanup at the end there. And hey, now I'm not entirely sure because I really apologize. But was that the final game or is there another game coming?
I believe so. I believe that was the final game, but let's hold off on guessing. Right, we have
That's true. Yes,
yeah, yeah,
we'll see.
but I'm almost certain it was. And while we're waiting for the next game, I was most impressed with their ability and trust to go for 1v1 situations, which was really
Mm.
interesting.
Like in a way, that's just kind of saying, look, we know we are better than you individually. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
No, not now. Of course, in a team, right? That's always like one of those things where as a team, you try to be better than the sum of your parts, right? We saw
Yeah.
that at like the top. If we think about the top teams of all time, you have people like Armada and Android, or we
Mhm.
have SFAD and Pew Pew, right? And no disrespect to Android or SFAD or Pew Pew, but out of those four people, only one of them is the best player.
Mhm.
Um, and but despite that, like we had Pew Pew and SFAT really getting fantastic results. That's because they were able to um take their synergies and their cooperation and really push their play to another level with that. And if it comes to like doubles, I feel like you have teams like that that are set in stone in a way and that are willing to practice together and play doubles as a set team. We actually have a team like that here in the tournament as well that I'm familiar with, which is Blaze and Phil. But then on the other side, you have teams which are just kind of like, hey, you want to do doubles?
Yeah, yeah.
You,
I
you want to
actually
do doubles?
watched Blaze and Phil, and they were an amazing team.
Oh,
Really impressed. Yeah.
at Phoenix Blue Online, I commentated doubles a bit as well, and I'm just the biggest Blaze and Phil fanboy. Honestly, it's just let's go Phil. I'm just the world's biggest Phil fan for some
Yeah.
reason. I honestly don't even know why. I just like Phil.
No, no, I'm sure I will be too. I'm excited actually to commentate, like, hopefully I get more opportunities to commentate European events, because I'm a morning person. So this
Ah,
you know
a
is
monster.
it just works perfectly, because I can wake up and just start watching the game and enjoy it and learn about the EU scene more, which I think
Yeah,
you
hey,
know
it's
yeah,
been I think in a weird way the Slippy and everything being online now has actually really been like pushing us, right?
yeah, yeah.
Where one of the problems before was always just like okay, this I think this is just a bit of a cultural difference, right? I feel like in America, when an event is 5 hours away, people don't even think of that as travel. They just go there. It's just like a trip,
Yeah.
right? But in Europe, if something's 5 hours away, you're traveling across three countries. People do think of that as travel, and that feels like a big commitment. They're not necessarily always willing to take that. But with this nice, beautiful same circuit that we have going on, and lots of online events, we've really been able to like get a lot more regular play started, which I think is very exciting.
Yeah, I agree with that. And as a viewer from the US, I've really enjoyed just being able to add watching European events to kind of my my routine, because you wake up in the morning and it's just there, right? And then you see places like like one of the sponsors Beyond the Summit hold EU events before the North American brackets and stuff like that, and that's really amazing for someone that kind of can just wake up and just watch Melee literally all day on a Sunday, and man, I just love that.
Okay. It's just kind of so something like kind of funny happened yesterday. So we started
Go for it.
we wanted to stream the tournament yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And we wanted to be on time. So everybody was here. The tournament was about to or like we wanted to start with crews, right? And everybody was ready at 5:45. We were here. And the tournament was supposed to start at 6. And then 6 comes and passes. And we can't start because Beyond the Summit is still streaming their reruns of the Slippy Championships League. And
Uh,
everybody's like, how do somebody wake up Hotbit? We need to get them to stop streaming. And that's why we were late yesterday. And I just thought that was really funny because, like, don't worry, this is just something that happens, right? Like, nobody's really
yeah.
at fault there. But it's just like the way you just said is that like Beyond the Summit is gonna like play the European tournaments and then also do the American tournaments afterwards and have it all be intermingled in a way. I just kind of reminded me of that because I thought that was just it was just kind of funny to me. I don't know. Like I've been I've been like streaming stuff and doing a lot of streaming stuff for a long
Mhm,
time now, right? So I have seen pretty much every disaster that can happen. Um,
mhm.
and so at this point, I just find them really funny. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm not gonna stress myself about it. It's just gonna happen. And yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. Where we're going next. Here we go. Actually, it appears we are ready to go. Oh no, no, we're
yeah.
doing some hand warmers first. Okay.
We got Fox on the blue side and Fox Marth on the other side. So I'm gonna be really interested here because all right. So we got intel that Nikki is port 1 and Pipsqueak is port 4, which is just gonna be super fun to watch. Honestly, I've been big fans of both players. Nikki handed me a can of whoop ass at Shine 2019, and then took $5 from me in Genesis. But he's a nice guy. And then Pipsqueak has been helping me switch to the box and stuff like that. So big fans of
Yeah,
both.
I learned that today actually. Pipsqueak is playing on the box, which is kind of wild. I mean, the box has really been spreading, right? It's just like lots and lots
Yeah.
more people picking it up, which is really interesting actually. Like it's kind of weird that I remember just a few years ago, like, is the box even gonna be allowed? Is this
Yeah,
cheating? Is
yeah.
this right? Like that kind of thing was like a whole discussion. And to be honest, I was always in favor of allowing it because it just felt like the reasonable thing to do, right?
Mhm.
GameCube controllers, they're just gonna run out.
Yeah.
They're just gonna run out, right? Like eventually, it's just not gonna be enough
E-
anymore.
Eventually, yeah. Unless you're Gooms and makes your own GameCube controllers, which is,
Right? But
of
like,
course, the Melee community ends up making their own GameCube controllers, but
yeah,
that's the
I
test
just
of time.
I just feel like, and on top of that, let's be frank, the GameCube controller is just not a very good controller.
Yeah.
It's just it feels kind of nice when you use it for a little bit, but long term it really can damage your hands. And so like I think it's definitely just a good idea to make sure we have some alternatives. But